Good morning, everybody. We are going to begin session. I know Commissioner O'Grady's trying to get into the parking garage, but in the interest of everybody's time, we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Brooks.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we've got a couple of ceremonial issues and some great things to recognize, great people to recognize. And I know that this is National Preparedness Month. We've got some wonderful people to recognize in our volunteers in public safety, volunteers, our VIPS program, volunteers in public safety support. And Kathy Crandall is here from Homeland Security and Justice Programs. Kathy, if you'd like to get us started with the recognition, that'd be terrific.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kathy Crandall, Homeland Security and Justice Programs. And with me we have Sam Bird, who heads up the teaching part of the VIPS program. We have Chief Don Schwind, who teaches in the program. And we have Major Hickey, who oversees the scheduling that we have. And decked out in red is Mr. Nick Holmes, who is our Volunteer of the Year.
All right.
Commissioners, as we wind down the events highlighting National Preparedness Month and return to our steady state of preparedness for the whole community, we take this opportunity to provide you with our activity summary and honor our Volunteer of the Year for 2015. The VIPS program has now graduated over 150 volunteers. They specialize in public safety, security cleared. They have CPR and first aid certification, and they're trained in specialization areas as identified by the Franklin County Police, Fire, EMS, and Health. These folks have contributed over 1,400 hours of volunteer service to our community just last year. And we have a current class of 25 being trained in Plain Township, followed by a class starting with New Americans, a special edition class that we're starting October 9th in North Columbus. As you know, volunteer service is the heart and strength of our community. VIPS volunteers link the community to the public safety forces, and they act as our force multipliers in planned events as well as catastrophic events that may happen. With over 132 hours of volunteer service and an additional 52 hours of volunteer training above and beyond the basic academy, we are proud to present to you the VIPS Volunteer of the Year, Mr. Nick Holmes.
Great.
Congratulations.
Well, I'm honored for this because, I wanted to become a sheriff deputy all my life, and now I get to work alongside them and work with my community. And I really am thankful, and I don't know what to say, but it's a good program, do a lot of events, so.
Nick, what was the most important thing you think you got out of the program training that you received?
Well, I learned CPR. I didn't ever think I was going to be able to learn CPR, but I learned it, and, you get to learn how to prepare yourself if a disaster happens, learn where you can get out. If one exit's blocked, find another, and, yeah. You learn a lot of stuff, and you learn, CRACE, active shooting, and the warning signs on vehicles, what's explosive, what's hazardous, all that. So
That's great. I just took that CRACE training last week, and I learned an awful lot from it, as did my staff. And I've been talking to other people about what I learned from it that was different than what I always thought. So I think it was tremendous training.
And I just took that yesterday, and it's surprising, isn't it? But we have to be prepared. That's what this is all about, being prepared.
We have a resolution to recognize you for being Volunteer of the Year, so if my colleagues would come on forward, and if all of you would come to the front of the dais, we'll get a picture. This is for you with our gratitude for you being involved and taking this. Thank you. And Kathy, if you would go to the mic and just tell people if they're interested in participating, how they can do that. If somebody is interested in participating in this training, in the VIPS program in the future, how would they do that?
Well, you have two different ways to be able to enter into the program. You can come through our website, which is available at the Commissioner's website. Just tap on Homeland Security and Justice Programs. On our front screen, you have the opportunity to complete the application for the Volunteers in Public Safety Support Program. And you can also access the program through the Sheriff's Office website. So either the Commissioner's website or the Sheriff's website, either way. If you don't have access to the internet, you can call area code 614-525-5577.
Excellent, thank you. And now we have one more presentation, and that's to recognize Eddie Rickenbacker Day, which we are celebrating today. And we have Michael Aaron, the Executive Director of the Rickenbacker Woods Innovation and Technology Foundation, and we have also Lucy Wolf, who's a board member. If you'd like to come on up. Good morning, Lucy.
Commissioner Brown, Commissioner Brooks, Commissioner O'Grady. We want to thank you for this resolution, for this recognition of the Eddie Rickenbacker site. This is a very important site for Columbus. We know Columbus has a lot of rich history. Our history is some of our best assets for the city. And I look forward to having this project move forward with the Buckeye Community Hope Foundation and the project they're doing in the same neighborhood. This is just going to be a great addition to the city. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks, guys, for all the information that you've given us. And I stopped by the way.
Great.
Drove by and found exactly where the house is because I'd driven by it a million times and hadn't seen it. So after we met a couple weeks ago, I swung by and it looks great.
Yeah, it is about the center point of between Parsons and Alum Creek Drive, right in
Right.
the middle of Livingston Avenue corridor.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a great development project for the corridor.
And we've been longtime supporters of that site and the historic preservation there, going back to 2006.
Yeah.
Also honoring a very prolific inventor, Granville T. Woods, and I hope that we will not forget him.
We're not.
Important part of our community. Had more inventions, I think, or almost, than Thomas Edison, African American from here in Columbus, right?
The
Yeah.
patents that he had were amazing. Yeah.
So we honor both of them,
And we
our
have a
heroes.
resolution for you as well.
Thank you for bringing that. Okay, we will need approval of the minutes of July 21, September 1, September 8, 2015 general session, and the minutes of July 16, 2015 briefing.
Move for the approval of those minutes.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady, Commissioner Brown.
Aye.
Minutes have been approved.
Okay, I am going to take the municipal court first. Dave, if you'll indulge us, we've got a judge in the house, and go for Resolution 718.
Resolution number 718-15, authorizing a memorandum of understanding for the continuation of support for the Franklin County Municipal Court specialized dockets in the amount of $340,000.
Thank you. President Brown, Commissioner Brooks, Commissioner O'Grady. Every time I stand up here, it goes back to 2003, 2004. The commissioners were there with us with the Adam Board from the very beginning. So I want to thank you very much. Also want to thank your staff. Ken's been there with us for a long time. Zach's joining in, and now we have Jason helping us, and we appreciate that. I always say Ron O'Brien was God calling me back in 2009, do you want to do a drug court? And oh my God, what did he get me into? We now have 5 dockets. We have Veterans Court, we have drug docket, we have OEP, the opiate interdiction, we have the catch human trafficking. So we are in the Veterans Court, if I didn't mention it. So we are covering a lot of bases, and we are doing that with Resolution 718 and your commitment on that year after year. And I can't say enough for the court on that part. I do have with me Holly Gleason, Paige Allen, and John Davenport. And I appreciate all of our staff, right on down to every single person that works in that building. As I already pointed out, it is a collaborative thing that you've encouraged. We work with the city. We work with Ron O'Brien's office. His office is over every day. We have increased our court costs from $1 to $3 to help cover this. We get a little bit of money from Ron and a little bit of money from the Common Pleas Court. We have been getting research done. I know that's a concern of the commission. Franklin University has been first working on the CATCH program. Case Western is doing the OEP program, and we will continue to have them go through all the programs. So we appreciate your support and your collaboration. Pending any questions, I would request the board's approval.
Very happy to move once again for passage of Resolution 718-15, and thank you so much for your work, Judge.
Thank you.
Your leadership.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady, Commissioner Brown.
Aye.
Resolution number 718-15 has been adopted.
I want to thank you, and I just want to say it's good to see young people up and participating like you started off this morning. We have a heroin epidemic. Statistics came out last week, 2,482 deaths from overdose last year. We have to have our young people involved in helping fight that epidemic.
That's right,
So,
and stay off drugs, stay
Right.
off everything.
So thank you very much.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we will go back to the item number 1, Sheriff.
Resolution number 717-15, authorizing supplemental appropriations for the addition of 9 full-time positions to support corrections and administrative support operations.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dave Masterson, Director of Administrative Services for Sheriff Scott. This resolution approves FTEs from the Management Assessment Study to help facilitate projects relating to objective classification, the jail management system, the medical RFP, legal-based standards review, crisis intervention, the reentry program, and the new jail build. In addition to, the position will provide administrative support for various divisions of the office relating to payroll and budget. And pending any questions, I ask approval of this resolution.
Move for passage of Resolution 717-15.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady, Commissioner Brown.
Aye.
Resolution number 717-15 has been adopted.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Dave. Veteran Services Commission.
Resolution number 719-15, authorizing a transfer of general fund appropriations for the implementation of classification and compensation study for bargaining unit employees.
Commissioners, good morning. Prosecutor O'Brien, hello. Staff, thank you very much. As discussed last week, we are here for your approval of the resolution which will transfer funds so that we can implement follow-up to a study done in conjunction with your Human Resources Group, study done by Clemens and Nolan, that will enable us to upgrade the wages of some of our employees more in line with their peers throughout other counties in the state of Ohio. So we request approval of this resolution. Thank you.
Would you mind introducing yourself for those who don't know who you are?
Very much. Mike Kehoe, I'm one of the commissioners on the Franklin County Veterans Services Commission. With me today is John Works, our acting director, Merle Pratt, a commissioner also, and John Maurer. And I believe, I was looking for Judge Close, but he was not able to join us this morning.
Thank you.
You'd know if Judge Close was in the room.
Good
You
point.
would, but we all know you, but the audience may not,
Yes.
so thank
You're
you.
welcome.
And I'm sure that we all support this. I'm happy to move for passage of Resolution 7/1915.
Mike, gentlemen, thank you not only for your service on the Veterans Service Commission, but your service to our country, so
You're
thank you. Second.
Moved and second voting, Commissioner Brooks,
Aye, and I
Commissioner
join that.
O'Grady?
Thank you for your service.
Commissioner Brown.
Aye,
Resolution number 719-15 has been adopted.
Thank you.
thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Job and Family Services.
Resolution number 720-15, approving a contract with Access to Interpreters LLC for the interpretation and translation services in the amount of $890,900.
Good morning, Commissioners. Lance Porter, representing Job and Family Services. This resolution will allow for scheduled on-site, on-call, and telephone interpretation to the limited English-speaking participants to go through our programs. This agency will also provide document translation of many forms and documents that they have to fill out as well. This is the final year of a 3-year contract period, and pending any questions, I'd ask for the approval of this resolution.
And they've done a good job, correct?
Absolutely.
That's why you're bringing them forward.
Absolutely.
Great. Move for passage of Resolution 7/2015.
Second.
Moved and second voting, Commissioner Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady, Commissioner Brown.
Aye,
Resolution number 720-15 has been adopted. Resolution number 721-15, approving a contract amendment with Arbor E&T LLC DBA Rest Care Workforce Services for the coordination and management of Ohio Works First Work Activity Services, an increase of $3,500,000 and the amount of $8,143,420.46.
Commissioners, under this contract, ResCare, along with the 8 local subcontractors, have been instrumental in providing work experience services which assist the agency in meeting and actually exceeding the federally mandated participation rate. We'd like to point out that our two-parent rate is at 90%. And when the contract began, we had a low 20% for our all-family, and we've exceeded the federal mandated rate now. It's at 70%. Due to caseload reductions, the funding allocated to this contract has been reduced to align with the needed service levels. And pending any questions, I'd ask for approval of this resolution.
And do you think with the reduced funding, the service levels can be maintained? You're going to do, I'm sure you're going to do your very best.
Oh, absolutely. It's been reduced because there's a lower number of people now because we've weeded out people that were not participating, and then the people that are participating now understand that it's part of them receiving their benefits, so they're actually taking part. So a lot of the work as far as the outreach and reaching out to them, making sure that they're making the attendance and being there, that's in place, is just maintaining them and tracking them now.
And I think we've exceeded the other large urban counties on this now,
Number
right?
one.
Yep, we're
Number one.
So that's, you know, that's something to be proud of, even if we're seeing headlines of impoverished, and we know those issues are there. But this is a program that's working, thankfully, and thanks to your efforts and those of your colleagues at JFS.
I'd be remiss
Appreciate
if I didn't say staff is very proud of this, and they're planning a little celebration, and I'm sure an invitation will be extended to the board.
Absolutely.
Lance, I think this is important, and I know that the subcontractors that work with ResCare do a fabulous job. The statistic of how long people stay in the jobs and the retention of them being in good jobs is really the mark of how we progress as a community going forward. So that'll be something that we'll be particularly interested to see going forward. So thank you for the great work.
Move for passage of Resolution 72115.
Second.
Moved and second voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady. Commissioner Brown.
Aye.
Resolution number 721-15 has been adopted.
Thank you. Animal care and control.
Resolution number 722-15, authorizing appropriation adjustments for the operation of the animal shelter.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Kay Dixon. I'm the Director for Franklin County Animal Care and Control, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to answer any questions during the work session. And we'd like approval of the resolution.
This resolution will authorize additional appropriations for the dog and kennel fund, which is needed to help support in cleaning, medical, and feeding costs due to dogs being held, a higher volume of dogs being housed at this time. We respectfully request your approval of this resolution or any questions.
We had a good discussion during briefing. Move for passage of Resolution 72215.
Second. Kay, thanks for the tour when I came up. I'd been before, but it was good. Kay walked me around the shelter, and we talked to a bunch of the employees. And it's clear you can see the difference, and so you keep up the good work. Appreciate it. What you're doing.
Thank you.
Moved and second voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady. Commissioner Brown.
Aye.
Resolution number 722-15 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Economic development and planning.
Resolution number 723-15, authorizing an economic development grant agreement with the Columbus-Franklin County Finance Authority to implement the Energy Works Energy Loan Fund in the amount of $1,500,000.
Morning, Commissioners. James Schimmer, Director of Economic Development and Planning. Commissioners, I'm happy to present to you this morning the third program which makes up the SmartWorks in Franklin County Economic Development Program. As you are all aware, we were given the opportunity to use some of the quarter-cent sales tax for this program for economic development purposes. And to date, we've been busy keeping that promise to you and the citizens of Franklin County. We've launched the Infrastructure Works program, which is an infrastructure bank program based on loans to municipalities for economic development projects, $3.5 million a year. But $17.5 million over the 5-year period. The People Works program, which is a $500,000 a year program, approximately $2.5 million over 5 years, which is focused on job training for JFS clients. But this morning, I'm here to propose Energy Works, and I want to thank you for the opportunity to be able to bring this program forward to you. We are proposing a program that was forged in discussion groups regarding the formation and development of the SmartWorks program in Franklin County that involved private sector developers, commercial property owners, public sector development officials, and public utilities. In the process, we discovered a common theme. There were a number of commercial buildings that were built in the 1970s and 80s throughout Franklin County which had reached their useful lives regarding heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems that needed drastic energy retrofits and overhauls to command market rents. Private financing had been difficult to find in the gaps between what project costs were and the private sector, what the private sector was willing to risk were sometimes sizable. As a result of these discussions, I want to propose this morning a program which will utilize a trusted partner of Franklin County. The Columbus Franklin Finance Authority, which is now just referred to as the Finance Authority, has been charged to assist us in establishing the Energy Works loan program for Franklin County. First, I want to make certain that you understand that this is a loan program. Actually, it's a revolving loan program. So you might ask me, well, why a loan program, first of all, and then what does this term revolving mean? Commissioners, the banks aren't the only ones who want to limit their risk. We, as government, also want to limit our risk to a certain degree. And the point is that even though we are participating in an innovative government program focusing around energy, we are stewards of the public's money. This will be a financial obligation of the business and not a giveaway. We want the payments to come in on the loans so they can be lent out again. Thus, that is the revolving nature of the program in the sense that the money will be lent back out again. Theoretically, it will be continuing in perpetuity, and therefore, our commitment to energy goes on as long as the program continues on. The key is that the business alone is making the decision if the energy savings will be enough to cover the cost associated with the loan. We are focused in on several different specific areas, but eligible recipients for the use of these funds will involve commercial organizations, manufacturing groups, logistics areas, healthcare, education, and nonprofit organizations. We want to focus in on loans that will range from $100,000 up to $5 million, and focus in on areas of energy efficiency associated with retrofitting existing buildings, as I mentioned, but in the areas of lighting, energy management systems, high-efficiency HVAC, building envelope reconditioning, including roofs, steam systems, boilers, compressed air, refrigeration systems, innovative uses of solar hot water, conservation of water systems, but as well as general overall energy savings. We want to focus in as well on areas of energy distribution, including heat pump systems, geothermal. This will also include areas of solar, microturbines, the generation of alternative energy power. So it's a wide variety of things that we are looking to use for eligible uses of the funds, and again, a wide variety of potential users as well. The program, as I mentioned earlier, will be vetted through the Finance Authority, and the Finance Authority, you were involved in putting in place just to handle programs like this. They have a loan portfolio that has been established and has done very well. In fact, they have their own fund, which has been established based on the fact that they have been able to bring in funds to support an energy program. With us today is the President of the Finance Authority, Jean Carter Ryan, and I had asked Jean if she might be able to spend a minute and take you through some of the details of her program and be able to have you understand how our program will fit into that.
Great. Welcome, Jean. Good to see you. Yeah.
Great. Jean Carter Ryan, Finance Authority. I'm really pleased to be here with you today. Jim did a great job introducing the program and what we're working on. And again, we're pleased once again to be a partner with the commissioners in Franklin County, especially on this Energy Works program. The commitment that you're making today is going to be a significant part of the energy finance program that we're putting in place. We have made our own commitment, as Jim referenced, to finance energy efficiency and alternative energy kinds of projects. We have our own funds that were put towards it in a revolving loan fund. We have our own bond fund program that we plan to use to finance energy efficiency improvements. Additionally, the state of Ohio has qualified us to receive up to $2.5 million in loan loss reserves. So when you think about all these different pieces and parts that are coming together, these sources of funds are going to further leverage the $1.5 million that we're talking about here today. Clearly, there is much interest in energy, forgive the pun, around energy and around working with and through the Finance Authority. So we feel real comfortable and good about where we are. As Jim mentioned, we're going to be financing projects from $100,000 up to $5 million. Each project is going to be vetted from both a credit perspective and from an energy perspective, which brings me to who is our team? How are we getting these projects vetted and underwritten? So we have a team with extensive knowledge specifically about energy and energy finance. Our financial advisor is DePerna & Associates. They've got over 30 years of doing structuring for financing. They are also the financial advisors for the Toledo Port Authority, which has been recognized nationally as a leader in energy finance. Our attorneys on this project have helped craft Ohio's Energy Special Improvement District law and are also act as counsel to the Toledo Port Authority. So they've got extensive knowledge working with Toledo, who has closed on over 100 energy financing projects. So we've got the right team in place to move forward with this.
Who are those counsel, Jean?
It's Bricker and Eckler, Caleb Bell. And then Finally, the energy vetting piece of this. So again, as we look at this, each of our projects is going to be required to get an energy audit. And not just any energy audit, but it's called an ASHRAE Level 2 energy audit, which is a national standard for what we'd be looking for in terms of really ensuring that the client who is basing their willing to invest in this energy efficiency project on what the information they're getting from the audit. So this is a high-level audit standard that will be put in place. Additionally, we're going to be submitting those audits to the state of Ohio for loan loss reserve draws. So their staff, which have significant expertise in energy, are going to be reviewing it. And when there's a gas-related project, Columbia Gas has also said that they would work with us to ensure that they think the audit is right on target in terms of the energy efficiency improvements that they think will actually be accurate. So that's how we're looking at this from a team perspective. Finally, you cannot underestimate the importance of the Finance Authority Board. I answer to a 9-member board who must approve each and every one of the projects that we finance. Our board is comprised of bankers, of lawyers, of high-level university leaders, including the former president of the Ohio State University, the managing partner of Weiss Miller, and the managing director of GBQ. We have a really, really strong board. They are not rubber stamps, and frankly, they're actively engaged in the work and the projects that we undertake at the Finance Authority. So they have done a really phenomenal job. I feel so fortunate with the appointments that you've made to that board, how active and engaged they actually are. One of the things Jim mentioned, I want to reiterate and reaffirm, is talking about the role of the public versus the private sector in financing. We spent a lot of time looking at energy finance before we decided that we wanted to get engaged in this area, specifically because of that purpose. We don't need to go into some space where there's not a market gap. But in fact, energy projects are really tough to finance for a host of reasons. One, the size of the energy loans. Most energy loans are going to be about $500,000. Most banks that are lending in the energy space don't want to make loans that small. It's just not worth their time and effort. There's also a gap in terms of collateral and security associated with this, which is one of the key points that lenders look to. When you're financing LED lighting, it's not like you can just go and claim that collateral and sell it for what it's worth in the marketplace. So there's a problem in terms of the gap. We think we've figured out how to basically close that gap through the Energy Special Improvement District PACE program. So that's something that we are able to provide. And finally, banks tend to want to make shorter-term loans, 5 to 7 years. We can go out longer than that. In your program, out to 15 years. In some of our own programs, we can go longer than that even. So it really, there's a gap, there's a need, we've got the team, and I think we are so excited to partner with you to see some real sustainable energy green investments taking place in Franklin County. And once again, I really appreciate the interest and engagement that you all have had, not only on this subject, but with the Finance Authority in the past, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Jean, thank you for being so inclusive this morning, and it was a pleasure to meet with you yesterday. My questions at briefing, I know you were on vacation last week, so we weren't able to meet. And obviously, having just served on a national task force in the subject matter area, I had perhaps more questions than my colleagues. I think it's important to step out on this issue. I think it's important to, quite frankly, ask those questions to make certain that there will be a transparent, objective process with all the measures that you've described. So I applaud what you've done and the background on your efforts, and I appreciate you meeting with me yesterday.
Sure.
So this morning, I always ask, are we competing with the private sector, no matter what the financing or other program is? So you've answered that question yesterday and today, and I appreciate that because I think it's important not to compete where private dollars can fill the need. We shouldn't be competing as government with the private sector. So I feel confident that moving forward there will be transparency. It will be an objective process, and I know I've also had conversations with the county administrator and he with our development director. There will be an open process for those applying for these loans. They'll have to go through your finance and creditworthiness as well as the energy standards that you're going to also ask be met. And that's what, 15 to 20% reduction, as we discussed yesterday?
Correct.
Right. And that's very important. That's an important part. Otherwise, they can get financing anywhere. So I'm prepared to move for passage of Resolution 72315.
Gene, thanks for coming today. Thanks for all your hard work and for all the expertise that you bring to not only this project, but to the others that we've worked with on over the years. Really appreciate our partnership with you. Jim, great work you and your team put together. I mean, this has been exciting stuff from Infrastructure Works to People Works and now to Energy Works. These are three fantastic programs, three things that I think were frankly things that we were only kind of dreaming about back when first they started having, when you sat and said blue skies. What about blue skies, Commissioner? And so I'm really excited that we're finally getting this thing off the ground, this last piece of this. It's a great project, so I second it.
Jean, I would like to thank you as well, and I do understand the expertise that the Finance Port Authority has, and I know and have known that your work with the PACE program has been outstanding. With the work you did with Trinity has been amazing. And Jim, to your team and you, thank you. This has been something we've been talking about for months, and we know that you've put all the safeguards in place to make this an objective process, to make it a transparent process with your board, Jean. It always is. We wouldn't have asked you to do some of the other work that we've had you do if we didn't have the confidence in your outstanding board members, some of whom we appoint, some of whom the city appoints. This is just part of an amazing array of programs that we do, and we would not have gone to you if we didn't think you could do it. So we're thrilled.
Great.
Great job, guys.
Again, thank you very much for your support, and again, I think this has been a really great discussion, and appreciate it.
Thank you.
Has been a very good discussion. Thank you.
Our pleasure.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady. Commissioner Brown.
Aye.
Resolution number 723-15 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Benefits and risk management.
Resolution number 724-15, authorizing the settlement of workmen's compensation claims against the county by Dewana Martin in the amount of $6,070.48.
Good morning, Commissioners. Maggie Snow for Benefits and Risk Management. This is a settlement, a full settlement of a claim, workers' comp claim, that has been approved by the prosecutor's office, and we recommend, based on that, review the settlement of this claim. Pending any questions, I ask your approval.
Move for passage of Resolution 72415.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady. Commissioner Brown.
Aye.
Resolution number 724-15 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thanks, Maggie. Human Resources.
Resolution number 725-15, approving personnel actions.
Good morning, Commissioners. Chris Walter representing Human Resources. This resolution authorizes the following personnel actions. In the Department of Animal Care and Control, 2 resignations. In the Department of Economic Development and Planning, 1 transfer within agency. In the Department of Job and Family Services, 4 new hires, 1 promotion, 1 lateral class change, 2 resignations, and 1 retirement. In the Department of Public Facilities Management, 2 reclassifications and 1 transfer within agencies. And in the Department of Sanitary Engineering, 1 resignation. Pending any questions, I respectfully request approval of this resolution.
Move for passage of Resolution 72515.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady. Commissioner Brown.
Aye.
Resolution number 725-15 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Purchasing.
Resolution number 726-15, authorizing a contract extension with Dunbar Armored Incorporated for armed carrier services in the countywide in the amount of $65,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Chris Johnston, representing the Franklin County Purchasing Department. Resolution before you requests your approval for an extension for armed courier services with Dunbar Armored Incorporated. The service they provide is secure pickup of cash and checks for various Franklin County agencies, primarily from the Clerk of Courts divisions throughout the courthouse and the auto title divisions, as well as child support enforcement. They then transfer that money and transport it to the banks for deposit. Pending any questions, we request your approval of this extension.
So they've done a good job.
They've done a very good job.
Okay. Move for passage of Resolution 72615.
Second.
Moved and second voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady. Commissioner Brown.
Aye.
Resolution number 726-15 has been adopted. Resolution number 727-15, approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $1,061,081.56.
Resolution before you requests your approval of 82 purchase orders. These purchase orders have been pre-certified as to the availability of funds by the Franklin County Auditor's Office. And pending any questions, we recommend their approval.
Move for passage of Resolution 72715.
Second.
Moved and second voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Commissioner Brown.
Aye.
Resolution number 727-15 has been adopted.
Commissioners, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Board of Commissioner resolutions.
Resolution number 728-15, approving solely for the purpose of Section 47F of the Internal Revenue Code of 1986, the insurance of the Columbus Franklin County Finance Authority of not to exceed $4 million Development Revenue Bond Series 2015.
Good morning, Commissioners. I am Kip Wallers from Ice Miller, and we are acting as bond counsel for Shadow Arts Entertainment. The Columbus Franklin County Finance Authority is going to be issuing a bond which will be purchased by PNC Bank to permit Shadow Arts to purchase its space over at 503 South Front Street. A public hearing was held with respect to this bond issue on August 20th. And so this resolution represents the approval required by the Internal Revenue Code of the issuance of the bonds by the Columbus Franklin County Finance Authority. The bonds are an obligation solely of Shadow Arts. They are not an obligation of the county or of the Finance Authority.
And Kip, who's on Shadowbox's board?
I am not certain. I know that Commissioner Brown is, but I'm.
No, I'm not.
No, I am not. Oh, okay. I am not certain who is on the board.
Oh, okay. All right. Good program. Move for passage of Resolution 72815.
Second.
Moved and second voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Commissioner Brown.
I'm going to abstain. My daughter works at Shadowbox. Just for the perception of anything, I'm going to abstain from this one.
Okay. Resolution number.
It passes.
Okay. Resolution number 728-15 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kip.
Resolution number 729-15, reappointing Catherine M. Lytle and David J. Leland to the Franklin County Parks and Recreation Board of Trustees.
Good morning, Commissioners. Eric Janis, Deputy Administrator. Pending any questions, would recommend the reapproval of the appointments of Ms. Little and Representative Leland.
Glad to move for passage of Resolution 72915.
Second.
Moved and second voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady. Commissioner Brown.
Aye.
Resolution number 729-15 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Journalizations.
Case number Annex-EXP2-31-15, an expedited Type 2 annexation petition, Annex P EXP2-31-15 was filed with the Franklin County Economic Development and Planning Department on September the 22nd, 2015. The petition is requesting to annex 1.7 plus or minus acres from Mifflin Township to the City of Columbus. The petition will be considered by the Board of Commissioners on October the 27th, 2015. Site 1776 and 1882 Stelzer Road, PDI number 191-001308 and 191-001378.
That's it?
Yep.
Thank you. We are adjourned.
employees.